Capital One and Discover just teamed up. Now everybody's wallet might need a helmet. Afternoon, everybody. Evening, everybody. This is another edition of Black Wealth Rebels Wealthy Wednesdays. Today, we're going to talk all about the Capital One and Discover merger. Doing some research in this, I thought it was going to be much bigger than what I thought it was, but it's not. But it's still going to be interesting because a lot of people, especially a lot of people in our network, I know I do. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Man, I'm
You're
telling
on
you,
mute, Jim.
I'm on super
You're on
chill
mute, Jim.
mode, man.
I'm not. I'm good. I'm good. We chilling, man. We good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm excited to
So,
be here, man.
I've been looking at.
Go ahead.
You're excited to be here? You sure?
The floor is yours, man. Go ahead, say what you got to say. I'm gonna let you cut me off.
So, oh wow. So, speaking of which, I want y'all to know because we all family here. Jim is out in these streets paying people to besmirch my name. I just want to let y'all know that.
See, here you go.
He pays some boy to say that I cut him off too much.
You start with lies and deceptions, man. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Omar, who's a member of the village. I saw a member of the village out in the streets today. You know what I'm saying? And he told
and
me
they cuffed me. They cuffed me.
He said, tell Kamari. I had to get a little like he said, tell Kamari to stop cutting you off, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, also shout out to the good sister, the judge that we met on last weekend. Again,
yes.
We was in the streets, and the beautiful lady was a judge, and she walked up on us and told us, I still got that content too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
Where's it at?
I'm gonna send it to you this evening, beloved. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on, but the streets are saying that Kamari got to stop cutting folks off. I'm just putting that out there,
man. I want to know why you don't have that clip ready for now.
It's not. Well, because the brother said he ain't trying to be put on the show with frustrated. So I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I respect the village, man. So shout out to the village, man.
No. I'm not talking about that. No, respect the brother. And listen, I actually appreciate the brother. So thank you. Thank you for the love.
Yeah, his name was Omar. Shout out to Omar, man. We appreciate you, man.
You actually don't realize how much torture and trauma I go through dealing with Jimmy. But it's all good.
Listen, I'm a great friend. I'm a great friend. With that being said, though, I mean, the facts are what the facts are, man. Today we are going to talk about Discover and Capital One, man. But life is good, have no complaints whatsoever. I see our folks pulling in. Let us know who's here. Sunday's class was dope as normal. This Friday, we're going to have a fun class as well. Shout out to Lorraine for executive producing this Friday show.
Yes, indeed.
Miss Maui is the EP of this Friday show, and shout out to everybody who watched that Sinners joint too, because I got a lot of great feedback from the Sinners video we did about the movie Sinners. So folks is definitely enjoying that. But life is good, man. It's nice outside. No complaints whatsoever, man.
So anybody who's here, do me a favor, post in the chat, announce yourself, let us know where you're hailing from. And let's get to it, man. So have y'all looked at this Capital One Discover merger?
Yes. I've been watching it for a while. Literally at this point, a couple of years, because this was rumored years ago, believe it or not. And the reason I was looking at it for a while, shout out to our investment club, IB Big. Back in 2019, did what's known as an SSG, right? Which is the analysis you do before you present an investment to the club. So did an SSG on Discover, and put forth Discover as an investment for our club, which we then subsequently made the investment into Discover. So since then, I've been following it. And like I was telling you before, it's actually one of our best performing holdings, which was Discover. Our analysis in buying Discover had nothing really to do with this merger because, again, it was years ago. And since I've been following it, this has always been like a possibility. So it's interesting to see, because when you start to pull back the layer in terms of looking at Discover, MasterCard, Visa, the networks that they possess, as well as the history of how all of them came to be. It's a very interesting, little. You talk about finance as being a sector. This is like a subsector, right? Or you talk about credit card processing. But this is interesting because you have one of the bigger banks merging with one of the bigger credit card processors, and it's going to create a huge entity. And I think once combined, it'll be like number 6 overall. But when you go down that rabbit hole, it really lets you know just how big certain entities such as Bank of America, JP Morgan, and Wells Fargo, you start to see just how scaled up they are. You talk about scale. Sheesh. Because even with these two behemoths combining, they still have nothing. They're still nowhere near. They're nowhere near JP, Wells Fargo, or Bank of America, which is really, an Italian bank. But I digress.
I mean, but the funny thing is, like you said, there's nothing to compare. But even with the little, quote unquote, minuscule volume that Capital One, they're still making billions of dollars a year in profit.
Yeah. This is true. I mean, that's how much money is in banking, right? Because banking runs the world, right? So banking runs the world. But it's just like when you start to see the scale of the biggest banks, it's like it's just mind blowing.
So as I was doing some research for this,
kind of out of control.
What's that, Jimmy? I mean, what's that, Corey?
Say, yeah, it's kind of out of control how big those banks are. And the thing is, the American banks aren't even in the top 10 in the world.
I think JP Morgan might be.
It is.
JP Morgan might be, because JP Morgan is at this point, though. I mean, JP Morgan got Coke boats. So, I mean, they're in a whole different level. They got their hands in everything, dog. You know what I'm saying? They got caught with the Coke boats and just disappeared off the face of the earth. Like, no one heard about that. What happened with that?
91 bricks popped up. And then
they found the Bulls bricks. They had to fall back before rap. You know what I mean? Never change. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cole.
Absolutely. No, I just think it's fascinating when you look at this. And I didn't realize, again, because you said it, I didn't realize this merger had been proposed and been working on for so many years. So this goes to show how much money is being moved and made and shaken a lot of times we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
So, all right, I see Simone was in the building.
Hey, Simone, what's going on? How are you?
All right,
there's a number of folks here, man. Let us know who's here, man. Put something in the chat for us. Hit the like button. Help us out as we stream this beautiful Wednesday evening.
All right, so Simone says, so this might be why Capital One backed out of Walmart. But I like it. I mean, there is a big upside to it, especially for the consumers. I mean, one report I said that Capital One kind of has a stranglehold on the subprime market of credit cards. Yeah. But as their consumers mature and age out and get better, they didn't really have any products for them. Now Discover will add more to that, into that portfolio to give them more things to offer. Basically get more of our dollars. So I guess I need to work on reducing my debt load on Capital One. So maybe they can offer me Discover. Because what I also understand is Discover is going to maintain their separate branding as we go through this cycle. Did you see that, Jim?
Yeah, I did see that. So the great thing, well, here's the interesting thing. I love Discover, and I ain't gonna hold you. I like Discover because I be Discover like fronting you straight. So for instance, I got a Discover card that I had for years. Because initially I had beef with Discover. My first Discover card I got back in college, which is a whole other story. I told that story in this recent episode of Stack Sats Without Trying. But anyway, Discover will allow you to straight write a check to yourself if you want to just go buy some real estate. So they part of my real estate finance stack. So I mess with Discover heavy. Hope they don't mess that up with this merger, because so I don't have some beef with y'all.
So is that just a cash advance? Or is it different?
So they do. They either or, right? So you can use it as a cash advance, or you can use it as they also have it online where you could do 0% rollovers. So I get 0% joints all the time. So I'll go take like 10 bands out of Discover at 0%, go buy a piece of property, refi it, and pay it back. I may or may not have done that, but it's either here or there.
Stunt 101.
Not a stunt. That's a strategy.
Now listen.
If you want more real estate strategy, go join the village at blackwealthrebels.com. There's a whole real estate analysis.
Most people can't do that, man. So listen.
That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with having money. It has anything to do with having good credit, which is everybody can have good credit.
No, everybody can't.
I mean,
but you
relatively speaking.
You do.
I do have good credit. I'm not ashamed to say I got good credit. I worked hard for it.
I'm not saying you should be ashamed.
That's why I tore my credit up. Listen, I tore my credit up like completely. When I was in college, my credit was, I don't even know how to describe how bad it was. So I spent years having good credit. So now I feel like I should be able to talk about it. You ever see the commercials where people walk around with good credit and they just be ordering people what to do? So I feel some type of way about that, man. You know, I'm close to an 800 and I'm going to brag about it.
Damn.
Yeah, Jim, I love you.
Listen,
Now,
I cracked 800 joint for at one point, but then you know, kind of went back a little bit. But with that being said, though, I brag about like, you never have good credit, and that has nothing to do with having resources. But my name is good out here. You know what I'm saying? My name is my name. So, you know,
okay, Marlo. Okay, Marlo.
You know,
the streets is talking clearly. Man, ain't no poor people who got an 800 credit score though. So don't act like it ain't.
That's not true, dog. That's absolutely not true. That's absolutely not true.
How many poor people have an 800 credit score?
But what I will say is this, though, right? We do have to do a better job.
Question, right?
Well, no, I mean, I can't give you the data. I'm not going to throw a number out there. What I'm saying is your credit score doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your net worth or anything like that, or your income. But here's what I'll say. I think that we do need more credit education. And at one point, I felt like it's just oversaturated because and maybe it's just my algorithm. When I'm online, everybody's talking about credit and business credit and all these different things. But having conversations about people getting into like apartments and trying to buy homes, it makes me realize that people still don't understand the significance and the value of having good credit. So there still needs to be legit credit education out there. I'm not talking about pushing products on people, trying to get them to borrow money, but real credit education about the importance of credit and how having bad credit can actually cost you so much more money in terms of insurance. It could prevent you from getting certain jobs. So that kind of education is still needed. So if we got any people that specialize in credit that are legit folks, you know, holla at us.
We do. The only person I listen to when it comes to credit is Markia, the money.
And we got to get Markia in the village to do like a real solid, you know, culturally relevant education piece on credit.
Yes, she'll do that. She's already agreed to do that. But back to the merger. So, do you think this is going to be good for the stock, Jimmy?
Long term, yes, right. So I don't like to make short term prognosis or any sort of valuation, but I think long term.
No, I'm talking long term. We talking long term.
So when I speak long term, I think like something like this has to happen. And I also feel like there's a couple other mergers that have to happen, right? Because you know, we're going through somewhat of a consolidation phase, and what's going to happen is these bigger entities will have to kind of compete. We're living in a world now where it's like we have a couple dominant players, and then everybody else. So you know, big bank take little bank, and I think that this is going to be long term a good thing because Discover has a network that we want to compete with Visa. It's nowhere near Visa. It's nowhere near MasterCard, but we need it to compete. It's always good for the consumer. And from a value standpoint, I think them two coming together, I think is can be very powerful. Couple pieces of data about this merger, right? It's an all-stock transaction and is valued at about $35.3 billion. You know, it was approved by the Office of the Comptroller in April of 2025, and the deal is supposed to finalize on May 2025. So post-merger, the combined entity will have assets which exceed $650 billion. Right? Crazy part is that is such a huge number, but 650 billion in 2025 makes it the sixth largest bank, which means that there's 5 other banks in the U.S. who have more than 650 billion in assets. From the credit card standpoint, right, the merger will create the largest U.S. credit card issuer by outstanding balances, which is about 250 billion. So that's how much money they got out on the street. We're talking about the network now. So there's a lot of different ways to look at this. If we're talking about strictly from the payment network expansion, Capital One will gain control over Discover's broad global payment network because, again, you have the networks in which these transactions take place. Visa, MasterCard, Amex, so on and so forth. But Discover has its own network. And that's 70 million merchants in over 200 countries. So this will allow Capital One to compete directly with Visa and MasterCard. So Capital One as the bank was already competing with other banks, but now it has the ability to compete as the payment network with the other big boys of Visa and MasterCard. Capital One is going to retain the Discover brand on both its cards and the network. So it's going to leverage what Discover already has going on. Kamari already mentioned that. There's another piece I found too, like doing some research on this. They also have a community investment initiative. As part of the merger, Capital One is committed to a 5-year community benefits plan, and they're going to invest $265 billion in lending, investment, and services to enhance economic opportunities nationwide. I don't know what that means for Black folks, but I'm just telling you what it says in the press release.
Some have. It's been rumored that it could potentially impact the Black community.
We shall see. Time will tell.
Air quotes.
Time will tell. So I think overall, long term, it can be a positive thing for that specific company and brand. Short term, I don't know, but it's still a ways to go in terms of the banking side and the network side. But I think it's an overall positive thing. I know a lot of people hate to see mergers because they want to have more competition but the thing is, these days, the way that businesses operate these days, when you don't have mergers like this, you get put out of you get put to sleep, you get your TV turned off. So it is what it is. You got to consolidate.
Consolidation is definitely a thing. Definitely a thing. All right, so I want to show y'all something real quick. Before we get to the comments, real quick. Where'd it go? Oh, shucks. I don't know where it went. Somebody help me.
I don't know, dog. What you doing, dog?
That's not it. That's for Friday. Oh, man. Where'd it go? All right, here we go.
In my career as a professional, I'm still learning. Financial literacy is critical. We need to learn this in the schools so we can have our own richest man in the world, our own billionaires, and we're not depending on others. This is what we need, is economic. Well, Malcolm said it, Martin said it, and so many people said it. We need our own economic system. That's the only way you're going to win.
Now, Jimmy, tell everybody who that is.
So, that sister is a state judge, right? She's a judge who's an amazing lady. We had a great time to converse with her and meet her. Judge Nichols, she's brilliant, and she also is a member of our village. She watches our content, and we saw her in the streets at a Black-owned establishment because that's what we frequent. River Falls Boutique. We were there this past weekend, and so she was talking about the work we do, and that was part of the conversation there that Kamari just showed, man. So it's always powerful running into people who are part of our village in the streets and share their thoughts with us, man. And it also lets us know the impact that we have, right? So I was telling Kamari that numbers don't matter to me. What matters to me is when we outside, we see the impact that we have. You know what I mean? And it's undeniable. So I was very proud of that, man.
So that made my week. But let's be clear, numbers do matter to Jimmy. Especially when it comes to his credit score.
All I care about is how many. Only number that matters to me is how many sacks I got, though. That's pretty much. But
now running into Judge Nichols on Saturday made my week. I'm still riding high off that. That was so dope. And it's funny, almost every time somebody recognizes Corey, Jimmy, or myself for the work that we've done. So again, we don't have the biggest numbers, but clearly we are having some impact. And that's what
it's crazy, man. Like last time we was there, someone ran up about, because the kid was in the camp. Like it's just can't put words to it, man. It's dope.
And speaking of which,
I ain't recognize nothing, bro. I was like, what the hell?
And so speaking of which, right, do us a favor, help us grow even more so we can help more people find this Black love, merge with Black money so we can impact our community more and better. Comment, and share.
Yes.
All right, so we buying that Capital One? We buying some more of that?
Well, I mean, I don't give out investment advice. Anything you say.
I asked you, do you think?
So here's the thing. As part of our investment club, we already hold it, right? Personally, I don't hold anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I only have a couple holdings that I hold in terms of individual stocks, and that's not one of them. But I do own JP Morgan through Top T because that's the only bank big enough to even make Top T.
There you go. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's great. That shows you the scale of the Coke Boat Bank is they're big enough to be up there with the tech companies, right? When you look at Top T, it's dominated by tech, but there's certain companies that have such a scale that they compete with them too.
Correct. That's a fact.
So would you consider what's the names of join a bank? What's the old boy?
Buffett?
Yeah, Buffett, John.
Well, his is a finance company. It's also in Top T.
I was just asking, would you consider them a bank?
Somewhat. I mean, there's a lot of companies that I would consider a bank that don't on their face operate as banks.
Yeah, because I was thinking like they operate sort of like a bank. They not a bank, but when
you look at the banking ETF, VFH, I believe it is. One of their top holdings is Berkshire Hathaway. So they kind of operate that way, but they're really a holding company. But so it all depends upon how you look at it, right? So you could consider them, a bank. They're a finance company, but you consider them a bank. But I'm just saying, like, there's certain companies. Scale is everything because you get to a certain scale. I was looking up data the other day on Walmart, right? And Walmart has gotten to such a scale that it's going to be, I don't want to say impossible because nothing's impossible, but it's going to be very difficult for someone to knock them off their throne in terms of retail because they're able to get items and services at a certain price because of their scale, which allows them to then sell it cheaper than anyone else. And I know a lot of people be out here talking crazy like, oh, F Walmart, I don't do this, but I ain't never been in a Walmart parking lot anywhere that is, is not filled to the gills anytime you go by there.
John's packed.
Because Walmart is damn near an $800 billion company. So
that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is folks be like, I don't go to Walmart. I'm like, somebody going to Walmart because them lots be crowded. Like you say what you want to say, but everybody want to save a couple of dollars, right? So and I say that in terms of this conversation because they have such a scale that, but that's where the politics comes into play because we're supposed to be protected by companies that get to a certain scale because we want to have competition. I'm gonna say competition is none. I appear around the earth like I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm
gonna get to everybody, but I want to pull this question up first. Thunder says, with this merger, are they a monopoly? Jimmy kind of went over this earlier.
Absolutely not.
Long answer is no.
Because even with this merger, they don't even crack. With this merger, they still don't even crack the top 5 in their field. Like so. It's hard to call it a monopoly when you got 5 other banks that are just bigger than you.
But I do like how they're moving and positioning.
Yeah,
they might be able to do some things. They might be able to move upstream. So you don't know. You don't know.
No, what I'm saying is though, currently.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, currently they're just keeping themselves from being killed because what happens is. In a certain way, if you don't merge, you don't grow, right? So I think both of those companies have reached a point where their growth is going to be, limited. And so what they did is they merged so that they can continue to grow, right? Use each other's network to continue to grow because I think what happens is your organic growth, the way you can grow organically, reaches a precipice where you can't grow at a certain. You can still grow, but your rate of growth starts to decline after a certain time. And so what you do is you merge so that you can continue that growth rate. So that's most of the reason why companies merge.
Correct. But I was looking at the stock. So compared to the S&P 500 over the last 5 years, the S&P 500 has been up about 96%. Capital One's been up like 192%. That sucker's been on fire. So I'm sure Jimmy's rejoicing on his pick, and I be big.
Well, Capital One is not what we have. We have Discover.
Oh. So how much is Discover House? Damn, I thought
DFS is up crazy too. DFS is crazy. It's one of our. I'll tell you what DFS is up. Let's look at DFS.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, well, you do that. You do it, beloved.
Yes, sir. Damn, DFS is up 341%.
Give me my flowers right now.
I was giving you flowers anyway.
Give me my flowers right now. I'm sorry.
There you go. There you go. Jimmy Owens came to destroy your John.
I'm sorry.
All right, so let's get to it. We coming right to y'all. Give us 1 second. But that was a good question, Thunder.
Yeah, excellent question, Thunder. Thanks for the question.
All right, so we got to that before. Jarrell, what up? What up?
Yo, one thing is about Walmart, but Walmart really be on some get them later on. So Walmart is one of the only places that doesn't accept Apple Pay, Google Pay, none of those, because they got their own joint. They was like FOH to all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went in there, I was riding by there. I went to grab something small, so I'm like running in, and I didn't even have my wallet on me. And they like, we don't do that. I forgot though. I'm like, damn.
No Apple Pay, no Google Pay, none of it.
Go get your wallet or don't come back. I'm like,
We don't want your chump change.
damn, my bad.
I'm saying that's what Walmart's saying.
Jarrell, what's up? Jarrell's a member of the village, and Jarrell, appreciate all the kind words in the village. Jarrell was the one that was happy birthday in the village, man. So Jarrell's always showing love, so much love to Jarrell. Still Rocks is in the building. What's good?
What up, Still? Miss Maui, what up?
Miss Maui.
Real financial literacy should start in middle school.
All right, so I have some opinions on that.
I think you're starting too late, Miss Molly.
Well, I got a couple opinions. So first of all, I want to shout out to Miss Maui. She's our executive producer for Friday. So that's
I mean, actually, didn't she suggest this too? Or was that someone else?
I don't know. But here's what I want to say. I have a when you say middle school, I guess you mean middle school age. I think financial literacy starts the day someone is born, right?
What?
And that's how I feel. But I know there's always been this argument about they should teach it in school. And I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure I want it taught in schools either.
Yeah, because I know how they teach history in school. So I'm like, do I want them to respond?
I'm cool on that.
Because capitalism dictates that if they teach it in school, they're going to be teaching more about how to make folks consumers. So I think it should start in the house.
Listen,
from the day someone's born.
When they created the course to teach financial literacy, they called it consumer math. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
But I think it's an interesting conversation. We probably could do a whole show on that. Miss Melly still out here.
I'm just saying, as a person who's taught in schools and seen financial literacy curriculum, the curriculum was called consumer math.
Well, it's funny. I don't even like the term financial literacy. I've talked about it.
I'm just saying.
No. But
what's the better term?
I think the term. I think financial education is a better term because, to Corey's point, when you look at all the curriculums, all the teachings, how to write a check, how to buy a house, how to buy a car, there's never anything about wealth generation at all. It's all about, like Corey said, consumerism and materialism married together.
Jimmy said that, but it's okay.
Okay, Jimmy,
that's my brother. My brother said, listen, man.
But I mean, if it didn't matter, you wouldn't have brought it up. But it's cool.
No, because I know you were shading me. That's all.
I wasn't shading. I never shaded you.
Come on, y'all. I need y'all not to do that tonight.
So here's the thing. Some people think this is an act.
No.
We do this in real life.
Listen, let me tell you firsthand that what you see on this screen is what you see in real life, is what you will see in our meetings, is what you will see anywhere that we are together. These gentlemen love each other enough to disagree and still get everything done. And I love it.
Still get everybody.
Hey, listen, man. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Ribeye all day long. Jarrell says, yeah, I stay away from cards because of my lack of knowledge and my credit. All right.
Ain't
nothing wrong with
it for you.
What's up, fellas? Is it possible to get business credit without having current substantial revenue profit? Ooh, that's an excellent question.
The answer is yes.
Legitimately or illegitimately?
But the question is, should you? The answer to that question is absolutely yes. But the question that I have for you is, should you without substantial revenue? Because when you get the credit, you still have to pay it back. That's why it's called credit.
I seen a young boy in Philly get a half an M in credit.
Without,
and he ain't had nothing. He had
no
piece of paper.
None. Zero. Zilch. Zip.
So yeah.
So it's absolutely possible.
So Still Rocks 33 says, and also the other part of that question is legitimately or illegitimately. Anyway, people don't want the education so they need the credit, and then they look for a quick fix. It's part of the problem.
Oh, that's a bar. That is a bar. That's a bar.
Part of the problem.
Dr.
Dropping in and
Sav.
out. I really need to listen because I'm a long-term Capital One member. They've been getting a bit big for their britches lately too, but I gotta go grade these papers. Listen, you gotta go grade the papers.
Do the work.
Yeah, we at that point in the school year where papers got to get graded. School year is less than a month before it's over.
Oh damn, time be flying, bro. Sheesh.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Kamari, what was that? Yeah, Kamari shared the wrong joint. Yeah, he out here wilding, yo. Sunday,
Something.
what's really good? Go to Kamari's IG page and see that nonsense. And Walmart always adjusts to the times. They have full service grocery delivery in your home. Nobody is putting your groceries away but Walmart. Walmart does not play. Listen, Walmart is in front of the AI revolution, the robotics revolution, the home delivery revolution.
You know what made them step their game up? Amazon. Amazon was on their back. Amazon
Well, Walmart was
stalking their ass. And then Wally World was like, hold up, we got funds. We can get at these dudes. They just start beefing.
Listen, the Wally World said, you got guns, we got guns too. What up,
Yeah,
son?
they start beefing.
You want to battle the cash to see who's son too? What up, though?
Because Amazon tried to get on the grocery game, and Wally World was like, oh, so you want to fight. And then it just got dumb.
So Emeka says, excellent point here. The current admin is going to allow most all mergers and acquisitions to go through. The last move too slow regarding any potential anti-competitive actions as it was. Yeah, they're gonna just let they. So that could be a good and a bad thing because you're gonna have some stuff going through. Like, why would you allow that? But all depends upon your perspective.
What's up, Emeka?
And how are you, by the way? Yes, thank you. All right, will buying stock in this be a good move?
Depends on your situation.
Yeah. What is your objective? What does the rest of your portfolio look like? How old are you? A lot of ways to answer that question, but not investment advice.
What up, Anthony?
And what's good?
And for the record, as Jimmy just said, this is not investment advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All right.
Yes.
We're not giving advice, just real talk to help y'all be informed. That's all. That's the only goal.
That's it.
Keep y'all stuff to y'all-self. All right, so let's see who's.
By the way, I just want to show that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I'm saying.
My man.
That's all. KL, what's up, Kev? Kev says, hey, Blueprint, what are the disadvantages of having a Series 7? Ooh, excellent question. I'll tell you one thing.
I can tell you because he told me.
I did it.
Yeah, they be all in your business. You got it's well, first of all, here's the other part, right? So even when I had mine, I wasn't necessarily utilizing it to the fullest extent. So, I did it to say I could, you know what I'm saying? Just to be like, you ain't up on this. But also, based upon what has happened in the past, now you have to turn over any transaction you do with any sort of financial way. So as someone who's in real estate investment and development, anytime I got into a deal, apply for mortgages, I had to submit that information over, and it got to be a headache because it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it because I wasn't generating the income that I could have from the license because my focus was over in real estate. So to me, it just wasn't worth it. So it all depends upon your perspective. If you're going to actually work in that space directly 24/7, then maybe you want to go get it, because you're a stockbroker at that point. But is that what you really want to?
Right. But notice the Series 7 is just a license to sell. It doesn't mean you have any advanced knowledge. You're not going to gain any necessary knowledge from it. They just want you to sell. And I think that's probably why all of us on this panel let go of all of our licenses.
Yeah. The only license I still hold, I sold a couple licenses. I still hold a real estate sales license. I hold a certified Pennsylvania evaluator license, which allows me to do mass appraisal. But I also have an inactive appraisal training license that I'm actually making active again. Everything's in a real estate space though, that allows me to operate. But from a security standpoint, I let go to life, health, 63, 26. I let it go all them joints because, Do you think customer base will mainly consist of individuals repairing and rebuilding credit? No, because I look at the customer base now. So when you talk about both companies, I think that Discover has a lot of people who have okay credit, but they're kind of like their demographics tend to skew a little bit younger.
Yep.
So, but I don't think that'll just be it. No.
And then, we talked about this earlier. A lot of folks who have got their stuff together, get their credit together, and they don't have anywhere else to go. And so they wind up leaving Capital One. So, yeah.
Yeah, they needed a more mature card to move people to.
I remember years ago looking at Visa, but I never bought it. I remember one of our trading groups, we trade every day. We used to specifically trade Visa and Microsoft.
Visa was in like Microsoft when we started looking at Microsoft was like $60.
I remember Microsoft being $20 back when I first started getting in the market. And I was like, by the way, did you see the article? I know, Kamara, you saw the article I sent you about what Anthony Scaramucci. Yo, Cora, I don't know if you saw the story. He had bought his son $1,200 of Amazon stock back in like 1992, right? And lost track of it. So he lost track of it because he bought it at some brokerage that doesn't exist and went to another brokerage or whatever. So they were tracking down the stock. Yo, they found the stock recently. It's only worth $288,000.
$1,200 turning
$1,200, and that goes back to that Fidelity report that some of their best accounts, their highest earning accounts, are the accounts of people that are deceased or lost their accounts because they don't touch it, and that goes to prove that that's true. The only reason it grew like that is because he lost it. He just got track of it, and I think he said it was sitting with Goldman Sachs now or something after all the different various mergers. Speaking of mergers, but anyway, I thought that was an interesting story. Of a $1,200 investment, being worth over $250,000 at this point.
Again, it's amazing what happens when you buy something quality and just
don't
set
touch
it and forget it. Yep, absolutely.
But that's the hard part. There's a story right there.
So Anthony Scaramucci once purchased $1,200 worth of Microsoft for his son in 1992. And I think he was being interviewed and he said it was like 72,000. His son corrected him and said, no, it's closer to like 3.
300.
So how rich are you when you just like, 300,000? That don't faze me. That don't faze me.
Yo, if I spend $1,200 in 92, I'm gonna know exactly where it's at. Like, you know what I'm saying? You talk about privilege. You're like, I don't know, I lost it somewhere. I got $1,200 in Microsoft that's sitting out there from the 90s, dog. They should have talk. I'm sorry, go ahead. Ms. Maui says they should have.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Georgia. No, I want to cut you off. I'm learning my lessons.
All right, so Ms. Maui says they should have the basics talk, but all education should start at home. I'm okay with that. With that.
I don't think they should touch financial literacy at all. I think they should just teach math and just leave it alone. Because again, I work in the school districts, in the school systems, and me and my wife are going to do some. Again, if you weren't on our show on Sunday, my wife has agreed with myself to do a 10-part series about the finances and education. And I can tell you straight up facts: the school district should not be touching it. The school district should not be touching it at all. Because what they're going to do,
none of them. They're going to pervert it to a point where it's not education. They're going to pervert it to a point where it's indoctrination. Because schools do not teach anymore; they indoctrinate. And so, I wouldn't want a school touching it with a 10-foot pole. I just wouldn't. Okay, I mean, I agree. I totally agree for the same reasons.
I'm sitting there reading. I just saw this news headline come across my feed. The U.S. and Ukraine signed a minerals deal. Did you see this?
Yeah, they did it a couple hours ago. Yeah.
Go back to that other one. Go back.
The U.S. is wild, bro.
Go back. Yeah, right there.
Oh, I thought that's mine too. Okay, go ahead, Corey.
It said, "Yo, Corey, you gonna teach all that in the education joint, or point me in the right direction so I can make sure I can get my youngins 10 steps ahead transfer." So we having our Saturday and our Saturday classes this summer. We start with we always start with language, right?
Because Jarrell, how old are your kids, Jarrell, by the way?
As long as they can talk, they can come to our classes. We like to say 5 years old and up. So yes, we will be teaching that in our Saturday classes. We always start with language, because if you know, once you know the language, nobody can get nothing over on you, because literacy starts with language, right? And then once we go from language, we go into more specific points about finance. We talk about budgeting basics. We talk about savings basics. We talk about Bitcoin. We don't talk about no other. We don't talk about shit coins at all, except we let them know that they exist. We talk about the basics of real estate. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about computer literacy in our camp, and we do all of this in 5 weeks. So yeah, your youngest going to get a crash course if they haven't been in our camp, and we get it done in a couple hours. We get all this is in 10 hours. We do it 2 hours for 5 weeks, and we got kids. Our first set of kids are now college students.
Yeah, in big school. So anyway, so Miss Maui says, Jimmy, you need to connect your debit card to Walmart Pay. I never take my wallet in Wally World, just pay with my cell phone. So I probably got to do that. Thing is, though, I don't even go on Walmart that much. That's why I forgot that they don't accept those things. I didn't, the guy was like, no, you got to do Walmart Pay. I didn't, I don't, not that I don't support the company, and not that I do support the company, but I'm a Sam's Club bull. So they get my money a different way. They still get my money, but they get it a different way.
They get it at the discount. They get it at the discount.
I love going to Sam's Club, man. Yeah, I mean, you get to try to. Yeah, first of all, Sam's Club got the fire ribeyes. That's one. But two, you know what I'm saying? I get to walk around and get samples while I'm shopping, dog. Like, give me my samples, man. I need my samples. Like, so they still get my shit. All right, so Thunder says, Kamari, why does your shirt sound like the name of a boxing club or collection agency for some serious men?
I figured you would enjoy slandering me, so you know.
I didn't listen. I had
nothing to do with it.
Kamari look like he rolling with these folks right here, man. He rolling with this, by the way, right? This book right here.
I'm not enough to rock with any of them.
Look, this book right here is an interesting book. I'm gonna tell you why it's an interesting book. Because some people consider this book to be a crime book. This book is actually a business book. It's a organizing book. It's a very, very interesting book. Corey, you ever read this book before?
Yes.
It's a very interesting book, because you talk about the ability to organize, and they had some things right, obviously some things wrong, or things went wrong. But
listen, man, those brothers were militant. They just weren't focused on things that most militant people are focused on.
What's your thoughts on that book, Kumari? I always, what you think about it?
That book is a testament to the work of Black journalists, because without Black journalists, that book wouldn't exist.
It wouldn't.
Okay, you went a whole different way with it, but I respect.
I just said, what he said is 100% true.
I respect that,
because nobody else could get close enough to write that story.
Yeah,
another excellent point.
Yeah, it's just wild.
But for those that never read that book, read the book. With these mergers, are we entering a new Gilded Age? That's the
Gilded.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
How do you define Gilded Age, though?
That's a little hyperbolic, and probably also because I've been watching Gilded Age on Max. But I don't know if we'll ever see another Gilded Age because of how far we've come. I should never say never, because there's a revolution in terms of what's going on from a technological standpoint right now. But the Gilded Age, I don't know if we'll ever see that again, because the wealth was so concentrated in the Gilded Age, and regulation wasn't what it is now back then. Yeah, there was next to none. There was still some. I mean, people are still getting the the envelopes and still making stuff happen from a legislative standpoint.
They was doing them hand to hands back then.
Yeah, the hand to hand bribery was a little bit different, but I don't know if we'll ever see that. So, and I do understand you said new Gilded Age, meaning a different version, but I don't know about that. Discover keeps sending me offers
Raise my 108
every other day, a different color card. Hey, listen, man, go get that chicken. Not investment advice. Discover point structure has always made me think more to use it. I just want consistency. Yeah, Discover got the cash back that goes hard. Kamari is the real Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, I don't disagree, man. Kamari get to it, man.
He do. He gets busy.
Yo, I don't know, man. Listen, I think my feelings is hurt.
The black Jordan Belfort.
That's so disrespectful. But
By the way, people always refer to the movie. If you ever read the book, The Wolf of Wall Street,
Wow.
I read the book a while before the movie came out, and when I saw the movie, I was like, "This is tame." He was absolutely out of control.
Yeah, he was wild.
The book was tame. I mean, the movie was tame compared to the book. That man in that time period,
Yeah, he was
was
wild.
completely out of control. So go read the book. But
He was
anyway,
wild.
let's get to the next one, man.
I'm not reading that book, but okay.
Why would
I mean,
you look?
I read the book
I read
before I
that.
knew who the. Well, see, here's the thing, though. Before I knew who the real dude was and his perspective and all that, I had read the book just because it was a book that was called The Wolf of Wall
No,
Street.
I got you. But now the movie's out. I've seen it.
Now that the movie's out and having a chance to see him speak personally, it kind of does rub you the wrong way, Paul.
Yeah, he a
but
weirdo.
He's a weirdo.
He a
He's a
weirdo.
scammer. He's a scammer. And
Yeah, and by the way,
Well, he always been a scammer. That was the whole point.
I know, but it's
crazy
funny.
part is he tried to come on the By the Hood podcast when we used to do our podcast.
Yeah, he definitely tried to come
Are
on
you
our
serious?
podcast. Yeah,
Absolutely. I still got the email. He tried to come on our
yeah,
podcast.
he definitely
Hey,
tried to come on our pod.
That's
I'm like,
wild.
I'm like, no. And the crazy part, I said no, not because of him being a scammer. It's because we
Because
only interview certain
because he looked like mayonnaise.
Come on, bro.
Because they're
Call it what it is.
points vary depending on category. Got it. All right. Rebecca says that information can get institutionalized and watered down from its core message. That's a fact.
Yes. They are 4 and
I can
3.
tell you.
But if they're too young, I got some nephews and nieces I can put on. So generally speaking, we start at the age of 5 as long as they can read. So they're not too far off anyway. But
Yeah.
send their nieces and nephews through, man, and we take care of them next year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You sell the
Yes.
tag team shirts?
we got a whole new merch line coming out, man. You know what I'm saying? It should have been out already, but Kamari shot down some of my designs because I think I was being too flagrant.
Jimmy wanted me to create a joint called Booty Butt Cheeks all the time.
Listen, my personal ask was that we create a shirt called Yo Mama.
Yeah, so the thing is, we had to kind of go back to the drawing board and make something like less more tame. Mom was a little bit inflammatory. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen,
my political correctness in some of the shirts didn't go well. So, but the new shirts are coming soon.
yeah,
So these are coming real soon. We got some other ones coming. And we'll let
This
you
is the Black Love Rebel hoodie. The hoodie is fire. We love black people in the back. See, that's fire. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much.
and that's
Designed by
only
myself.
offensive to people that don't love black people.
Yeah, I don't care who it offends. Not
I'm just saying, it's offensive to somebody.
I know.
It's offensive to a lot of people. Because when you say you love black people out loud, and you say it in spaces with people that don't love black people, they get it super duper dumb offended.
You're like, why can't you love all people?
Yeah. They get dumb offended. Like it's absolutely crazy how offended
It's
they
funny.
get.
I had on a Black Lives Matter shirt, and I was in Maryland at what's that? What's the breakfast joint? Everybody be fighting that.
Waffle House.
The Waffle House. And this white boy came up to me and was like, "Yeah, I support the cops." I was like, "Okay, good for you."
Good for you.
And I didn't really peep what he was trying to do. But then my wife was like, "You realize he was trying to punk you?" I said, "Oh, okay, now I get it."
Yeah.
So yeah, people do get offended by this, but I don't give a shit. All right, Miss Bauer says, side note, Sam's Club is removing all checkout counters and converted to scan and go only. Wow.
Listen, I've been using Scan and Go for a couple of years now. I look at people sideways when they still go to the register. I'm like, dog, like
I go to the register every time because if they in there working, I'm gonna make them work.
I'm like, what kind of peasant are you to go to the register? Like,
I'm a peasant then.
I scan and go, dog. I walk in, scan
I'm a
myself,
peasant.
and walk in, scan myself, and walk out, man.
Full on peasantry. because I'm
No,
going
no.
right to the
A
person.
lot
that's
of our
working.
elders can't do scan and go. I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, so is that a shot at me, dog?
No,
Tell
I'm
the
just
elders-
putting the facts out there.
tell the
A lot of
elders
our
step their
elders
tech
have a
game
hard
up.
time.
Step your tech game up, elder. Because you're an elder, I mean, you can't step your tech game up.
A lot of elders are not going to step their tech game up. It's not about what you want. Jimmy.
They just not going
Yeah,
to buy.
yeah.
Okay, we'll go to JC Penney then. Get out of my Sam's Club.
Wow.
Wow.
Talk about bougie talk. Jimmy the bougie guy.
Privilege talk from our brother Jim.
No, but here's the crazy part.
What up, Rich?
The crazy part, the thing about scan and go is I'm just joking. I'm joking because the elders can
Oh,
still
we
go to
know.
Sam's Club. They can wait in line because I don't have to wait in line behind them because I'm scanning and go. I'm walking right by them, right out the door while they wait in line.
Why they still scared of this?
Listen, dog, I was there this past weekend. It was in long ass lines, and I walked right by them, like, you know what I'm saying? I walked in and walked out while they still was waiting in line. And I was like, cool. You know what I mean? I'm scan and go out here.
What up? What up, Rich?
Rich was really, really, really good.
Miss Maui says we can agree to disagree, either the school or the church. Enough families are not teaching it at home. No offense to Corey and his wife, but that won't reach all of Black America. In my honest opinion,
I don't even think the school or the church is gonna reach all Black of America. Because first of all, they're gonna teach you. They're gonna teach you an effed up version of it for one, and for two, everybody, you know, in terms of the church, it's just like crazy part about the church though. When you look at the data on churches, it's interesting how the churches just don't have the stronghold in the community that they once did. There's less people.
I'll say this.
There's less people in 2025 that go to church.
This is something that my former mentor said that you know, even though me and this dude beefing, it's something true that he said that I'll repeat. And he said, there are no Black churches in formerly Black neighborhoods. And so
wait, what?
There are no Black churches there are no Black churches in formerly Black neighborhoods. So neighborhoods that used to be Black that get gentrified, and those Black churches die because you lose your
base
your
is gone. Gotcha.
The base is gone.
Yeah, and basically what he's saying is that folks that they don't replace them with churches because they don't see the value in churches the way that our folks, our lower income class folks do.
Yeah, so those churches die. So,
but I'm just talking about the overall data in general in terms of like. But I think it's also a scary thing because part of the study that I was reading said that people are replacing religion with different things, and a lot of it has to do with social media. So the sense of belonging to something now is something else, right? When you see the huge movement of people who are the quote unquote red pill, right, or the quote unquote people who are MAGA or whatever other kind of political affiliation. They're replacing that need to belong to something which used to be occupied by a church with just being a member of some sort of like other fringe group. So I think it's a couple things happening culturally in American culture that's interesting to watch. But the Black church just doesn't have the stronghold. I know that wasn't the conversation. She was just saying that it has to take place somewhere else.
Yeah, it has to take some. And I'm not
disagreeing. And I don't disagree with that either, though. I think that things such as, and that's why I think that investment clubs are important. I think that even things that we do, like this idea of what we do in the community should be replicated in Detroit. It should be replicated in Boston. It should be replicated in LA. Like there should be by the hood Detroit. There should be by the hood Jacksonville, Florida. Like, so I think that it's going to be take the community. Like you got to do for self. I don't think that the government's coming to save you, going to put it in any school. I don't think the church is coming to save you. I think that the people have to take care of the people.
Yep.
So if the people don't decide that we're going to do these things, they'll never happen. The church isn't going to make it happen. The government's not going to make it happen. So it's up to us to make something happen.
To Jim's point, they didn't used to feed kids in school. You know when they started feeding kids in school? When the Black
people made them do it.
When the Black Panther Party started doing it. You know when they started a lot of school programs, the after school programs, after the Black Panther Party did it. So what happens is you know when they started ambulance services for when black people started. So what I'm saying is once we started
the state lottery.
Yeah, listen,
black people.
Yeah, because we was running numbers. We ain't need the government to run numbers. I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is once we create and do for ourselves, the government is going to come in and appropriate it. I'm going to say that word. They're going to appropriate it anyway.
They're going to steal the shit.
Yeah. So they're going to appropriate it anyway. So once we start doing it, they without, it's going to end up in schools anyway. But we have to do it for ourselves before they appropriate it.
Let's get it.
Gotcha. I like that hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Kumar, you got the other shirt we got set ready to drop?
We got a couple of them. I gotta fine tune some things.
I'm just trying to, what they beat Paul's a little bit.
Yeah, me.
All right, your average logical thinker loves the hoodie. I'm ready. And listen, all the sales from these hoodies, once we launch it, will go towards helping us educate our kids.
Listen, man, but that's what we about. We about putting it back in the streets.
To the streets, my brother, to the streets.
Whoa. Just harvested my first couple of peaches. I'm jealous.
Nice.
We got the black farmers in the building.
I'm jealous. I'm kind of jealous. And where's our beekeeper? Where's our beekeeper? Where is she?
Peaches.
She was here the other day.
I need some pure honey. And I'm not, I don't want to buy from nobody else.
Peaches, dog. I'm jealous. I can eat a peach for hours. I'm a peasant then in King Booker T voice.
I don't think nobody peeped what Jimmy just said, but go ahead.
King Booker T voice. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. All right, my fault.
Yo, absolutely. That was crazy.
Peasant here too. You're gonna earn your pay today. Hey, listen, it's all good.
Jimmy done offended everybody.
I'll walk right by you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all can stay on lines. Do them shits even got leathers? All right. Jarrell says, "Will do. Thank y'all."
Listen,
all right, you already know, Jarrell. Much love.
What's
good, beloved?
Shelby helped design that hoodie. Shelby's actually better at designing than I am.
Well, Shelby is the man when it comes to designing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is.
Shelby, a lot of the designs I send through don't make it to you because Kamari be shooting down. He tells me I'm too aggressive and disrespecting other cultures. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna start sending stuff directly to Shelby in the village because you gotta stop shooting down some of my ideas, man. Anyway,
still gonna get shot down.
Hey Shelby, don't do me like that. Listen, hey Shelby, I had a whole design, Shelby. It said make second families affordable again. And Kamari told me.
I personally can't wear that. I personally can't wear that, Joe.
He's trying to get us arrested like Nate. I'm in a bond, Nate.
Listen, I wasn't going to wear it either, but
I personally can't wear them, Joe.
I thought the streets would find it funny and wear it, right?
What I did say is we can do a limited run for our community only. We can't have our brand associated with second families.
I just thought it was funny.
We're supposed to be about black love, dog.
Listen, I know, but I thought it was funny, and I thought it would
man.
I thought it was funny, and I thought it would do numbers, and Kamari shut me down. He said, I'm not sending that to Shelby. I'm like, all right, man.
I'm just saying, I thought it was hilarious, but I personally cannot wear that because I do not want a second family.
Nor do I, beloved. Nor do I. But I thought it was funny, and I thought it would do numbers, man.
Jimmy out here trying to destroy the black community.
No, I'm not. There's some intellectuals out there who will tell you that is the way that we make the black community stronger because there's not enough eligible brothers to, build.
But then if that was a fact, it wouldn't be second families. It would be one family, Jimmy. But go, Jim. Go off.
Well, let's remix it. Let's remix it. You know what I'm saying? Make second wife. No, man. Your average logical thinker. What's that? Yes,
we can make a polygamy cool again, John. If you're down with that,
we're not doing. This is what we're not doing. We're not doing this. We're not talking about polyamory and polygamy.
You got guns, I got guns too.
No, we're not doing. This is not where we're going with this. I'm good on this.
So are you saying, Corey, that it can't be a positive, strong polyamorous family?
No, I'm saying that
polyamorous and polygamy are two different things.
I personally don't want to argue with the monogamous community and the polyamory community because it's going to be an argument. I'm personally saying I don't want no smoke. I don't want to get into the relationships business.
I respect it.
I'm good on that.
I respect it. Teach your kids what you know they won't get taught in school and beyond. These are facts.
These are all the facts.
Starts in the home.
Come on, Jim. You got to do that common justice, though. She said bottom line.
Okay, your average logical thinker says bottom line. Teach your kids what you know they won't get taught in school and beyond. 100.
That's a fact.
Yes.
100.
Yeah, facts. Yes. Super facts. Speaking of ambulance service, I just got my book in American Sirens. Hold up.
Okay. What's that?
Yeah, I'm confused by that comment. Are you saying that there's a book about? Oh, is that a book that someone recommended?
American Sirens is the book about the black.
Okay, because I thought I remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't start that book yet. American Sirens. It's the history book about. Yeah, okay. I remember we talked about it in the previous show.
Yeah.
All right, Shelby just harvested another plant, but we're not going to talk about that plant.
Whoa. Mary Jane, what is this hoodie?
You want to see the hoodie?
Speaking of, pull the hoodie back up, Kamari. The
That's
Black
the
Wealth
hoodie.
Rebels hoodie coming soon.
That's- All right, we're going to
We
get
got
that
to
popping.
turn that
It'll be
hoodie
ready
into
for
a
y'all.
t-shirt too.
Yeah,
Yes, we do, because
it's getting hot.
I
It's
will
getting hot
ignite.
outside.
I will
Yeah.
combust wearing that thing right now.
Spontaneously combust.
Yes.
Yeah, where is
All right,
Nicole?
Mr. Thomas says, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's looking for Nicole. Nicole, we ain't seen Nicole a couple shows, but you know, it is what it is. Nicole will be back.
Super chat. Thank you. Thank you for answering my biz credit question. Corey gave what I needed to hear. I should not if biz ain't making money. 100% understood. Yeah. Please don't. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. Stay out. We
Very
want you. We want you out of prison. We want you out of prison. By the way, American Sirens is on Audible, Kamari.
Oh, say less. Say less. I could come down off my ratchet read that Jimmy got me hooked on right now, but it's all good. he looked away like shit. He ain't lying.
Yeah, I knew a shot was coming. I was just trying to duck real fast. I knew a shot was coming.
Pew pew.
Who out of pocket? Ann? What's up, Ann? By the way, welcome.
Yeah, what's going on?
You wouldn't. Tell me you wouldn't have bought that shirt though. If we dropped the T-shirt, you wouldn't have wore it to the family reunion or nothing.
Hopefully he ain't going with his
You
lady.
try to have beef. Like you try to have uncooked beef, cooked beef, every kind of beef.
What's beef?
Yeah, man.
Damn, he had to bring him name. Damn right, I had to bring him name.
Man, listen.
Hey, Miss Edie. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey,
Oh,
how you doing, G?
we got to drop a Nate T-shirt.
For the village only?
No, man. You gotta drop that for the streets.
Y'all love so me and Corey was riding around having whole philosophical conversation about
There
Nate.
was no philosophy involved in it.
Yes, it was.
Nate was a victim.
Nate was a pimp.
Shelby, if you're there, I was trying to do a joint with the Nate picture, and it's gonna have a question on the back that says, "Are you in a bind?" And that was the whole show, right? So again, it would do numbers. It would do numbers, like
Yo, that's good. That yo, listen, I might have to do that as a side joke.
Hey, listen, I need
to put that in the I need to put that in the air like a split.
Look,
All
I'm
right,
trying
so
to
we
sell
might-
merch,
we-
Shelby.
listen,
I'm
all
trying
right,
to
that's-
sell merch.
Listen, I got you. You want to sell merch? Well, we'll create a ratchet joint. That's
All right,
not
we're gonna
attached to our name.
take it away. All right, we're gonna take it away from the Black Wealth
We can
Rebels.
do that. I'm with all that.
All right,
It's
let's
not attached
let's
to the
start a
Black
whole.
Wolf Rebels.
All right, let's get it. We're gonna Shelby, we gotta get on the phone with Shelby. We're gonna come together and create a ratchet merch brand separate from the Black Wealth Rebels, so we won't confuse with our community work. I'm with
Yeah,
that.
and we'll call it Jimmy. Jimmy is ratchet and loves
Now,
that
see,
stuff.
why
That'll be
my
the
name
tagline.
gotta go with it though? Like, what are you trying to do here? And by the way,
I'm trying to besmirch you.
your average logical thinker says the Jay-Z reference, my favorite song. Listen.
Oh,
I got
first
a
Is
of
whole
all,
the
video.
butter? Is that butter?
By the way, your average logical thinker. When I ride around and put that song on, it makes me feel like my net worth just doubled.
and
Right.
it's also my favorite song, so you got good
listen to
taste.
that song. I can't listen to that song because I started
First of all,
disrespecting
that
people.
might be the best diss song of all time.
Yo, I started
Yeah.
disrespecting people when
I didn't realize it
was.
was about Nate. About Mace until
I feel like
years ago.
that
People who
song-
talk about diss songs, they don't understand that Imaginary Player is a diss song.
Yes, it is.
And he
Whoa, are we discussing the fact that today they approved the deportation of U.S.-born citizens? Deporting them where? I didn't see that, so I can't. I can't. Speak, I can't
missed
speak
that. I
intelligently
seen a
about
lot
that.
of stuff today, but I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yo,
Yeah.
send us the
I mean,
send us
they-
the article. Send us the
So the book,
information
no,
on that.
the book. So the boss said he would potentially be okay with that. He
No,
said the ones who
I saw
would,
an article where they were talking about outsourcing it to more countries, but I didn't see where they were talking about doing American.
now, so the ball was on. Now the ball was on stage. The question came up. He said he would be potentially okay with deporting U.S.-born citizens if they were rabble rousers, if they would cause them trouble. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said.
To where?
El Salvador, anywhere. I mean, even with the ball who got deported, who had papers, he wasn't a citizen. They just joked him up, and the Supreme Court said bring him back.
And they ignored that shit.
It's some crazy times right now, yo.
We are in crazy
He
times.
said in Atlanta, it's 3 to 4 families.
Damn.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they got money in Atlanta.
I'm trying to start the East Coast production run for 2025.
I didn't say that.
I'm trying to sell merch,
I didn't say that.
I'm trying to sell merch. I got some wild merch ideas that I know will do numbers, but Kamari is right. I'm gonna give Kamari his credit. The Black Wealth Rebels is a positive organization, so I gotta create a little side joy. I gotta come up with a fake name and all that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so for the minute, Jimmy Young says I've besmirched his name. I want to give Jimmy his flowers real quick. All right,
No,
don't tell nobody else I did this though. But
okay.
Jimmy, like I was so frustrated with scammers. I was like, fuck all these scammers. They drive me crazy because it's so much trash. And people don't realize how much influx I get when people ask me questions. Like the credit question that your average logical thinker get. I get that shit all day long. And Jimmy said, don't worry about them. We clean glass. We the clean glass gang. Talk me off the ledge. Because I was going to start because I know a lot of their business personally. But that's not my style. That's not my style. But I was frustrated. Jimmy was like, no. So I want to give Jimmy his credit. So for you to talk about doing all this SW ratchetness on merch, you just got to make sure it's clean.
No, you're right. We gotta do something separate. I'm about to buy the domain name right now. It's called AintNoUziesMadeInHarlem.com, and we're gonna sell all ratchet merch.
Ooh, that's dope.
Grab that now. Grab that now, sir. Right now.
That's hard as a bag of concrete, bro. We gotta grab that.
All right, another super chat. Thank you, Dre.
Appreciate you, Dre.
Thank you, Dre. Thank you very much for the super chats. Big, small, doesn't matter. We appreciate them all. Capital want to discover our emerging ? During a pending recession. Yes. You ain't seen credit card spending is all right, during a pending recession, yes. Oh, the consumer's fitting to be thugged like a West Coast video.
Dang.
Yeah, basically. D-Ty, how you doing? Welcome. Money's not the goal. Financial freedom is. That's a fact.
Listen, man. Own your time and space, man. Own your time and space. That is the goal as outlined in this classic piece of literature, which you can find at ownyourtimeandspace.com, by the way, for those that have never read this. If you've never read this is, anyway, it only can be compared to the Bible and the Quran.
All right, so Ms. Mallory says, sadly, many parents don't know about financial literacy at your logical thinker.
Which is why we do multi-generational teaching.
Yeah.
While we're teaching the students, the parents are allowed to stay.
And we're also teaching from the cradle to the grave, like Corey said.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, me and Jimmy was having a conversation. Everything costs, from birth it costs to death it costs. It all costs.
Yeah.
So we got to know about what's going on. Okay, got to grab one. I appreciate it. Coming soon. Now the tax season over. Well, it's kind of over-ish. I can get some stuff done. You caught it, Ed? Now that's a lyric. That's a lyric. But, I mean, look at Jimmy smiling right now. Right?
I'm laughing at y'all.
Look at that. Jim talking about he can eat a piece for hours.
What's funny is I normally never miss nothing. I missed that completely.
Oh yeah, I caught it.
I missed that completely.
I mean, it is a lyric.
First off, that was a quote from Castor Troy on Face Off. I'm a movie buff, so I got it from Castor Troy on Face Off. By the way, Face Off is a classic piece of cinema.
It is.
All right, Shelby, we're going to do it. I know you
violence I'm looking for.
So here's the thing I'm afraid of, because Shelby actually is ratchet as fuck too. Y'all two
Hey,
together.
Shelby, let's get to work.
That's exactly what we need.
Let's get to work.
Yo,
All right, Jarrell says.
y'all gonna get this work.
Jarrell says LAMAOF. I didn't say F. That nature sounds tough.
Yeah, man.
All right. So all right, who else wants the nature? Let me know.
It's dropping
Well,
on
you
Ain't
drop
No
a
Movies
nature,
Made at
it's
Home.
good as good. All right.
Yeah, man.
Listen. All right, we're gonna take some pre-orders. If y'all want a Nate shirt, we'll give you a Nate shirt. All right, at Thunder, they can't do a show bringing up Nate, or you will. Facts. And you know, average logical thinker, remember, it's not me. It's not me.
You did bring it
Hey,
up.
by the way, Shelby,
You talked
Shelby.
about our conversation.
Hush. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
No,
All right. Your average logical thinker.
brought it up.
that will be classic. Are you in a bind? See what I mean?
Yeah,
Listen.
man.
All right, here we go.
Y'all done brought your average logical thinker over to the dark side, y'all. Y'all bad
Hey,
influences.
listen. I'm just trying to sell merch. Shelby, I want you to know, Shelby, real quick. I actually own the domain name. That's what I was over here doing. Ain't no Uzis made in Harlem.com. That's for the new merch. That's for the side business. We better start a side ratchet t-shirt
All right.
business.
All right, listen, by the way, this is going to be a case study. Jim, go get the IG page too, please.
Okay, let's get it. Ain't no
Right
Uzis
away.
made in Harlem, dog. Let's go.
We're going to do that.
Unless somebody already got it. We got to find out.
We
Right.
can figure out a narrative, an alternative spelling.
Listen.
All right. Thunder says, your average logical thinker in its time, why am I catching strays? Because Thunder, you out here wilding. All right. Dre says, they ain't deporting FPAs. Okay, you believe that if you want.
Yeah,
Trump said it himself, not my problem.
yeah. They already got concentration camps for us, so you might be right. Ooh, Rich
What's
with
the-
the greatest quote.
With the bars.
What's the
No,
difference between the 4.0 and the 4.6?
repeating. I know he repeating what I said earlier. I said that when someone said they gonna go to the line. I said no, you got to go to scan and go. I said them shits even no. I'm sorry, but let's go. Everybody knows what imaginary players is. Jay, it's got to be a top three Jay-Z song.
Like I said, it might be the best diss song in history, man. And nobody gets any credit because they don't know it's a diss song.
I also just got the ratchetmerch.com domain. There actually is a market for that.
Hold up, you put the domain Ratchet Merch?
Yeah, Shelby, that's what you're saying, right?
Kamari, I sent you a text. Hey, listen, we about to get busy, Shelby. We about to start another, little six-figure business in Ratchet Merch, man.
Listen, all in your bum rap talking about how your fun stacks. When I see you in the streets, I don't.
All right, so your average logical thinker says, is Miss Mallory referring to children born to illegals in the U.S.?
Damn, Playboy. What the F is
All
that?
right, he was MS-13, cell infected, wounded. I think you're talking about the guy who was deported. There's no facts for that. There's no documentable facts for that. He was a political, he got political asylum.
And he might have been MS-13 in the country where he's from. In this country, he wasn't no MS-13. Like, he was
Ain't
a
no
regular
Uzis
dude
made in
walking
Harlem.
around. Ain't no Uzis made in Harlem.
All right, Lawrence, what up, Lawrence? The family just buried my aunt-in-law. That cost us $25K. Wow, that's high.
That's not high. I paid $28K for my aunt.
I just paid for my mother-in-law service, everything together. We spent in there 30 bands.
Yeah, I paid $28K.
I mean, we
Yeah, it's out here, man. Yeah, these prices out here, bro.
Yo, that's a shirt. It costs $1. Get your paper up. Lawrence, we might borrow that.
We might permanently borrow that. Go ahead, click. Oh, I need you to click that, Jim, because that's going on the ratchet site, bro.
That might not be in the red. It might go on the real side.
Yeah, because that's real.
I was telling Kamari a story when I was in the funeral parlor with my mother-in-law, and my nephew was in there, and they were going over how much everything costs, and he just had no idea. He looked at me and was like, "Yo, it costs money to die," with a legit question and a legit concern, because it never occurred to him that it actually costs money to die, right? So it's a real thing. That's all. The Nicolas Cage face off. Yeah.
I mean, weddings be costing $25K. Funerals be costing $25K. Now it's funny. The funeral itself didn't cost $25K. I'm sorry. My dad's funeral didn't cost $25K. But I had to go. I still haven't added up all the other stuff like food, clothing, transportation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Thunder says, who else wants to wear a Nate shirt? Question mark. Do you really have to ask? Hands. I do. All right, Nate shirt's coming up. I ain't fighting y'all no more. We're going to take this money and we're going to give it to the babies. Shelby says, yo, he don't grab the domain quick. Yes, he is.
Yeah, man.
All right, so Ms. Maui says, no, ma'am. Any U.S.-born citizen, your average logical thinker. What up, champ? Oh, man, my condolences. My mom just died on April 4th, 18K for the funeral. My condolences, man. That's a rough one, bro. That's a rough one.
Damn.
Got to get back to Lawrence. What Lawrence said is real, though. It ain't cheap to die. So you got to get your paper up. Yeah. Or you can get buried in like Pottersfield or something. And most people don't want that. Most people do not want that. All right, your average logical thinker says $25K to bury. Y'all find caskets and extra joints. No, so listen, I brought the bottom of the land casket because when I was in the funeral parlor, by the way, me and Jimmy both went to the same undertaker, black-owned business.
Black-owned, baby.
Black-owned. But I brought the cheapest casket, and it still cost a grip. So, you know, stuff costs. Because my dad, I was thinking of my dad's mind, like he was talking to me, like, you better buy the cheapest casket, damn it. You better not get the top of the line joint. All right, Miss Edie says, does it cost to die? Why do we spend so much? I worked at a funeral home. It can be a ripoff. No disrespect to anyone.
No, yes, listen.
But here's the thing, right? A lot of people don't want to do that job. That's part of it because it's very emotional. And it's just hard to do. So there's value in that. And then these caskets, they sell caskets on Amazon. So you can get one cheaper, but do you really want to get a casket shipped? I mean, of course, you can get it shipped to the house or whatever, but a lot of people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that.
Not at all. And also, like, when I'm adding all the funds together, I'm talking about the repast, everything. So, you know,
right.
It depends upon also what you want to do, right? In terms of, listen, man, a lot of my folks pass away. They have a janaza. We be out of there in 10 minutes, and like, you know, that's you spend less than $1,000 on that. But sometimes, man, you know, that stuff could run.
Yeah, man.
Dog, I was looking at some of them caskets, dog, like 15 bands for the casket.
Just for the casket.
Just for the casket.
Gold inserts and everything.
Listen, man, you got to pay. Once you get the death certificate, you got to pay for them to transport it from wherever they, you know what I mean, past that, from this county morgue back to the like, it's a lot that goes into that, man. Like,
yo, and then beyond that, what about?
By the way,
go ahead.
By the way, the amount of death certificates you need to go through somebody's estate, I done ordered a whole new round.
Yeah,
and
man.
You get charged from. It's like, damn, I gotta pay for that. Like, that's wild.
You gotta send death certificates to every, like, you gotta send them to the bank. You gotta send them to insurance companies.
Yeah.
Hey, Kamari, did you see your new follower on IG? Your newest follower?
Oh boy, no. I feel like this is a setup.
It's not a setup. I just want to see. I mean, Corey too. You can check to see who your newest follower is on IG, man.
Should I brace for impact?
No, I'm just, you know.
All right, Jarrell saying sorry for your loss, champ. Yeah, that's hard, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. My grandparents prepaid for their funeral. They made payments while they were still alive. Salute to them. Talk about planning.
Yep.
Thunder. Yep, my granny paid off her plot before she passed. It helped a lot. Man, y'all folks out here.
So let's not talk about that. But let's not talk about the plots because they charge you to open up the plot And then
That
to
is
close
the
the
other one.
plot, it's like, yo,
Dog, that's another one. We charge you to open it up and to close it. Yeah, that's another fee. And then there's certain things by state law, depending upon what state you in, that a state requires. The state don't pay for it, but they require you to have certain things that you got to pay for.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? My friend bought her mom's casket from Walmart or Costco. It was so many thousands saved. I mean, that's another part. Another other thing too, there's a such thing as like just spending when you're in grief too. A lot of times you be like, I ain't doing that because you in grief and you just want to,
That's a fact.
Your great grandmother and the rest of the bloodline could have been born in the U.S. and ICE can deport you. That is absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. Like, where you gonna send me to, doggy? Like,
go back to Africa.
Don't get me started on black-owned funeral homes. Be overcharging like a mug. Shout out to Phaedra from Real Housewives, and she went into mortuary services, as she said, because the money was there. She was getting money. She was getting money as an attorney, and she was like, "Hold up, this is a better business." All right, Jamil says, "F that. Just give me a consult with the Neptune Society. Cremate me, baby." Listen, now my wishes, which are in my documents, are to be cremated, and for my ashes to be taken to Jamaica and thrown off a Rick's Cafe. But I digress. In my hood, people didn't want to talk about them, so they purchased the metal casket. The wood casket covered in cloth is an option. No disrespect. I mean, to each his own. I don't want to be putting no casket. My grandmother, my grandmother was wild. She put in her wishes that she wanted to have a memorial and she didn't want a funeral and she wanted to be cremated. She said, because I don't want a bunch of people walking and looking over my body. She literally wrote, she put it in writing too. so I believe in honoring, people's wishes.
Yeah, I honor the wishes.
We found all the fire pictures and put them up there. She was like, I don't want people standing over top of me. That's how she felt about it. Hey, Kamari, what you laughing at, bro?
That's real trash.
You about to see.
What you laughing at, bro?
Shelby over here cooking.
Let's go, Shelby. Let's get it.
Give me a minute.
We are about to get busy, man. Kamari, did you see who your new IG follower is, dog? That's all I'm asking you, man.
No.
It's
probably the Ain't No Uzis Made in Harlem.
Hey man, listen, man. I got a whole brand. We just started a brand live on air, y'all.
Yeah, we did.
And we gonna report on this not every show, but we gonna report on this.
Listen, we started a whole brand. Shelby, let's get it popping, man.
Yeah, Ain't No Uzis Made in Harlem, man.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get it popping, man. We got that.
All right, I gotta see this.
The subsidiary of Let's see what we got. What we got, Shelby?
Let's see.
What we got, Shelby? Let's see what we got. Where we at here, man? We created a brand live on air, man.
We cooking with fish grease.
And for those who don't get that reference, man,
I don't see it.
I don't know if anybody has seen the newest episode of Stack Sats or Die Trying, because it dropped yesterday in the village. It don't come out for a couple more days in the public, but maybe y'all know just based upon some of my references in that video. I just recently watched New Jack City, so.
That explains it.
Also, Cooking with Fish Grease was also in the movie Sinners.
Ah, there we go.
Because that was. Listen, when the brother, I think it was Stack, asked to the cook, with the first scene when they come into the bar,
she got fish grease. Yes,
she's cooking with fish grease.
Yes, she does. Yes, she is.
Talk about culture. That's culture right there.
Culture.
I gotta go see that. I'm trying to see that in the next week. I need to see.
We gotta hit IMAX.
We gotta hit IMAX up, dog. We already saw it in the record. We gotta hit IMAX.
Yeah, we gotta hit IMAX.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something funny, and this is a absolute true story. So the other day, I was watching television, and Michael B. Jordan was doing some interview, whatever it was, right? And I literally was like, "Yo, where's his brother at?" And then for like 15 seconds, I was like, then it hit me like, "Oh shit, what the hell am I talking about?" Yeah.
All right, Jigga says my old dude casket ran $20K with fancy nameplate to nobody since he's got dropped in 7 years ago. Total waste of bread. Meanwhile, my old bird is in my closet, less than $1,800. I get it.
I ain't mad at that.
Not at all. And it's funny because I need to get a headstone for my father, but I'm wondering will it be a waste of money? Because I know he went through a lot of trouble to get the headstone for my grandmother. I haven't been to see it at all.
Yo, it's like what was the boy's name? He was a kingpin. Willie Stokes, I think is his name. Willie Fluky Stokes. Y'all ever seen the boy's casket, dog?
No. Who's that?
Google the boy. Google the boy. His name is Willie Fluky Stokes. Willie. His nickname was Fluky. Flukey Stokes. And just look up his casket. Flukey.
Okay.
He was out of Chicago, but he was like a kingpin, but he was one of the things he became known for is this casket that he had part of his.
Yo.
Look at his casket, bro. He was wilding, yo.
Where do you find this stuff?
It was a documentary on him on I think A&E or something about Willie Fluky Stokes. It was a documentary on him. He had a real Cadillac cut up and he had a Cadillac casket, dog. Yeah, they purchased it in the village.
So for anybody just now joining us and watching, we started talking about the Capital One and Discover merger. Somehow we started talking about Funeral and Death and Ratchet merch. I don't know how we got here, but I love it. This
is what we do. But the boy had a real life hog. He bought a real life hog to have chopped up to made for his casket, man. So that's what he became known for. He was in life he was he did whatever he did,
That's wild. That's wild. Oh man, heard them caskets ain't waterproof either. No, so some of them supposedly are sealed, but every story I hear when they exhume the body or bring it up, they always are filled with water. That's what I've heard. Yeah. Oh, hold on. That picture I shared. Oh, this is wild. This is wild, Jim.
I told you.
This is wild. It really is a caddy. It's a hog.
See,
that man loved his hog. Okay.
Listen, man, when you get to choose how you go out, then you get to choose, right? At least he immortalized them.
Is my picture froze, yo?
Yes.
Yeah,
nice to have.
Let me back out real fast.
It's nice to have the gravestone. Excuse me. It's nice to have the headstone as the grave marker, but don't the bodies get moved eventually? Yeah, I think there's some kind of statue like every 100 years or something like that.
Yeah, some X amount of years. Yeah, sometimes they say 100 years, but I don't think they wait that long.
Right. Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Shelby done did it again. Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucky ducky, quack, quack.
Absolutely. Oh, man. This dude's cooking. Here we go. You ready? You ready, Jim? Are you ready?
I'm back, beloved. Let's see what's popping.
All right.
Let's see what Shelby cooked up for us, man. This next foray.
And the next contestant.
Stuff is moving slow.
Yeah,
hey, Kamar, you
wait a minute. There was an image. There was an image with the file.
You see my name, Kamar?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. You see it, Jim? You see it, Corey?
Yeah. Yeah, that shirt. Fa.
We'll probably get all kind of trademark infringements, though.
The back one is saying, "Are you in a bind, though, man?"
Yeah, we gotta have that on the back. Or no, it gotta be on the front. It gotta be on the front underneath it, man.
Are you in a bind, man?
All right, we can do that.
It gotta be that gotta be on it. Are you in a bind?
Lord have mercy.
That's hilarious, yo.
Yo, I like your other John too that you was just talking about, Joe. Other John earlier.
All right, so for y'all that can't see it, let's blow the image more. All right, Shelby said he had it.
First shirt, you know what I'm saying, from Ain't No Uzis Made in Harlem. It's coming soon. The first shirt for Ain't No Uzis Made in Harlem is coming soon.
Yo.
There it is.
First shirt.
All right, look up Maserati Rick's casket from the.
Maserati Rick was drawing too, yo. That's another one. I saw that one too.
All right, Jigga says, look up Maserati Rick's casket from Detroit. He has a Benz with a little ass headstone. Oh boy.
Yeah, I seen that one too. Yeah. So people be spending all kinds of exorbitant amounts of money on their homegoing service, as they call it. But I don't even want no casket, doggy.
Man, listen.
Turn me into ashes.
I like your other idea, man. Make second families great again, bro. We need to.
Listen. We hey, Shelby, we got to get that one cooked up, man. No, make second families affordable again.
Oh, that's even better.
Do other cultures refer?
Now I want to know who's wearing that.
So
who's wearing that? You wearing that?
Kitchen?
You wearing that, Joe?
Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, they do.
Why you want to ignore? You want to wear it?
Huh?
The second
Are
family.
you going to wear the shirt?
Hey, listen. I was speaking to Miss Edie's question right now. She was saying other cultures refer to movie quotes like we do. Absolutely, they do. I could tell you for a fact, right? A lot of my South Philly compadres who are from Italy, all they do is quote The Godfather, and they quote it all day long.
Leave the gun. Take the canola.
That's all. They quote it all day long. So and I've seen other cultures do the same as well. So we're not the only ones. I mean, it just seems like that a lot of times because we spend time around each other. But you gotta have something for the
Everybody's ratchet. Everybody's ratchet.
Oh yeah.
Everybody does.
So to Ann's point, we can do a Mount Rushmore on the ratchet site.
I mean. And then
All right, so what are y'all thinking, man? Let's get back to business.
All right,
Capital One.
we went way over, man. I ended up somehow buying a domain name this evening, but it is what it is. But come on, let's get back to business.
What's up, Andre? How you been?
How are you? All
right, so what we doing with Capital One Discover?
Capital One Discover. I'll give you a quick synopsis of that. Capital One Discover is something that had to happen eventually. I think that we'll see more mergers coming down the pike. I'm interested to see how they dominate the credit card space. So I think overall it's a good thing from a business standpoint. I mean, how does it help us? I don't know, but wow, Tesla is outing Muskrat and searching for a new CEO.
damn.
I don't believe that.
Why not?
Isn't he like the majority shareholder?
He sold a lot of his stock, so he might not be.
Mm-hmm.
Without Steve Jobs, right?
Hey, Steve Jobs got kicked out of a company he founded. I see.
Miss Maui is not lying. She ain't lying.
The board said FOH.
Yeah.
Much. Doing too much.
Yeah, man. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I wonder what that's going to do for the stock tomorrow.
It might jump.
You think so? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't like to speculate, but all I know is this though: Tesla is almost like a religion, like in terms of the people, because the boy got a lot of people that are sycophants that love him, that thinks he does no wrong.
Yeah, but ain't the stock down like 50%?
Well,
this year,
one of the things that I read about the board is they were like, dude, you running Doge, you running SpaceX, you're doing all these things. Like, what time are you dedicating to our company, right? the job of a company is to make profits or create value for their shareholders. There's only so much you can do, man. That book, by the way, Kamari, I know you told me you read it already, but it's funny because I'm on my second read because I think it's actually an excellent book.
The stock is down.
The dip?
The stock is down 25.6% year to date.
Yeah. But that book, The Dip, by the way, and he talks a lot in the book about like sometimes, you actually do more by doing less. And when you're all over the place, as Miss Malley called it, muskrat, when you're all over the place like that, if I'm on the board, I'm wondering too. Like, it's cool that you can do all this, but dude, what up? Like, you're supposed to be over here making our bread look sick.
Listen, man, it would be great if they got rid of Trump's daddy. I'm cool with it.
I don't know, because he might act like a petulant child once he's kicked out and start doing other things, to make harm us more. So
he gonna do that anyway. So,
but now he gonna have more time to do it.
Yeah, that Starlink's scary, bro.
It's very scary because he has access to countries that many don't, like the whole Russia, Ukraine thing. The government has to go. The U.S. government has to go to them to see what's going on there. That's crazy to me.
Man, listen, man. They gotta get their minerals now, man.
Everything is a play. Everything is a play.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
so
sir.
We got new merch coming soon. We got some clean glass merch, and we got some ratchet ass merch coming real soon.
Hey, Shelby, it's time to go to work, Shelby. It's time to go to work, beloved. It's time to go to work, beloved. And come on, I need you to cook me up a tagline for the Ain't No Uzis Made in Harlem about what we do, right? We sell culturally appropriate merch or something. Right?
Yo, this boy is fast.
What you talking about?
All right. Shelby done did. He cooked it up.
Shelby, let's get it.
Hold on. Here's it. Hold on. Let me find it.
All right. Listen.
Y'all gotta see this.
While you're finding it, let me speak to our audience. While you're finding it, pull up on Friday, 7 p.m. Show is executive produced by Miss Maui. We're gonna be talking about Shador. And just the overall thoughts, not necessarily specifically about him, but I think it's a bigger conversation. I know a lot of folks feel like it was all football related. I know a lot of folks feel like it had nothing to do with football, but I think it's a deeper conversation that goes beyond football. Regardless, and we're going to have that conversation on Friday. We're going to give away some Bitcoin on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Me and Shelby about to cook up. Me and Shelby about to get to work, man. We about to get to work. I need to.
So can you see the speech bubble?
Are you in a bind? Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Lord,
let's get it.
Yeah, I want some demon time.
I listen. I won't be satisfied till we get a cease and desist. That's going to show that we on to something. That's going to show that we ready to start popping, right? All
right. So here's a quick question: what are some other movie scenes, rap songs that y'all think should be on the Ratchet site? What do y'all think?
Make second families affordable again. That's coming soon. You know what I'm saying? We got to put the website on all the merch. Ain't no Uzis Made in Harlem.com. Listen, I got so many of them, man. Y'all going to see. Listen, we're going to populate this site a lot faster than the clean one because I got too many thoughts. But I digress.
Y'all heard that, right?
Just make sure y'all stop up, man. I'm already thinking about the Facebook ads, man.
Some of those might get smacked down. We would have to go influencer marketing with that.
Probably so.
And get them to wear the merch.
Probably so.
All right, everybody. So we have been on. This has been Wealthy Wednesdays with a twist of ratchetness. Like Jimmy said, we'll be back Friday for the Bitcoin giveaway.
Something else we may
talk about. And it was kind of cool off now.
I'm not trying to step on your ending, Kamari, but something else we may have to talk about on Friday, man. I want to know, what do you think about the 100 gentlemen versus the gorilla conversation that's been dominating social media?
And let me end this. Listen, man, 100 men with no weapons have zero chance against a gorilla because they
You
don't
haven't
have-
seen this, Kamari? Where you be at?
And listen, and let me
Absolutely.
tell let me tell you why. A gorilla, a 800-pound gorilla, there's nothing you can do with your hands or feet that can hurt an 800-pound gorilla. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. 100 of you. That's like, listen to me. That's like you as a grown man fighting 100 toddlers. What is you? If you fight 100 toddlers, how much damage are you going to take?
No, 800-pound toddlers.
No, I'm saying you as a grown man. With
I get your point, but I don't know. I mean, 100.
If you fight 100 toddlers, how much damage are you going to take?
It's funny though, right? Because they try to put the number 100 out there, but I've seen like in the streets where people try to roll on someone, and there's too many of them,
And they
sometimes
can't all get. They
they
can't.
can't all get to them. So it's
They
like,
can't all get close enough.
yeah, I gotta do the math on that. We gotta write a model. What is the appropriate number of people to dip on somebody?
You can write 100 models. There's not. You can't listen.
I'm more upset that Kamari don't know what we're talking about. This has been
I'm
all
just
over
saying,
my
like,
timeline
people
for
are
the last
stupid.
like 3-4 days.
People are absolutely
Kamari don't
stupid,
be
and
on
they
Twitter,
do not
man.
know. They don't understand the feral strength of animals.
So it started with a tweet, Kamari, about someone saying that he thinks 100 people could be the gorilla, but it's went viral to the point where people are actually doing skits and think pieces about it.
There's no think pieces. People don't understand the feral strength of animals.
I mean, that's
All
probably
right,
true.
so we'll talk about that on Friday with our
Yeah, we're gonna bring
Bitcoin
this back up
giveaway.
on Friday. See y'all on
And
Friday.
we're talking
Sure.
about Shakur. We'll see y'all on Friday.
Yeah,
Later,
we'll
y'all.
be in Harlem, y'all.